Hey y'all, well, back from a great summer break. The last little bit of it I spent in Aspen, Colorado, climbing mountains, riding bikes, thinking that I was burning tons and tons of calories, which I was, but then I would immediately replenish it with one meal. To wit, I was hiking up the Ute Trail with my husband up to the top of Ajax Mountain, if you're familiar with Aspen. It's a grueling 2.5, for me about 2.5 hour hike. So of course, in the interest of science and vanity, I went on the internet and figured out how many calories I'd burned, and it was around 1,300 calories for that foray, and which I immediately replenished as soon as I sat down to lunch and scarfed down a half of a hamburger. Well, bacon cheeseburger, but that was it. All that grueling hike up and calorie burn and feeling so great and about myself, and boom, I put it all right back on just with half of a cheeseburger. So this goes hand in hand with this article that was in the New York Times August 26th. So it's been out a couple of weeks, but it's Herman Ponzer talking about debunking the hunter-gatherer workout. The idea being your body acclimates to vigorous activity. But the upshot of the whole thing is at the end he says physical activity is very important for maintaining physical and mental health, but we're not going to jazzercise our way out of the obesity epidemic. And this goes hand in hand with what I've been talking about in terms of exercise being about 10 to 15% of the equation, and diet is sort of 85 to 90% of the equation. It's so important that you have your diet in place. You can't exercise away a bad diet. So if your nutrition isn't in line, there's almost no amount of extra activity you can do to make up for that. Now, I'm not talking about elite athletes. I'm not talking about if you're one of these cute 17-year-old boys that keeps writing in flummoxed about why we're talking about diet all the time. Well, it's because we're 45-year-old women and it's an issue, okay? You're super sweet. We love that you watch the channel, but this isn't really for you so much. So for those of us who have this issue, like myself, 45 years old, female, kind of an issue. Diet is huge. Diet is the biggest part, but you have to exercise. So just remember, if you go out and hike up a mountain or bike 40 miles like I did the very next day, we rode our bikes to Glenwood Springs, I calculate I burned about 1,300 calories. I made up for it within one meal. One plate of delicious enchiladas, and boom, all that calorie burn was gone. So you do it because it's fun. You do it because it makes you healthy. Don't think you can exercise away the calories. You have to have the nutritional component. All right, so that was the first big thing I learned on my summer vacation. I feel like I should write an essay. What I learned over summer break. That was the big one that just comes to mind right off the bat. We've got several more. Anyway, keep the comments coming. Please subscribe. We like to be friends. And as always, keeping you as glamorous, healthy, and fabulous as you can stand to be. I'm Maddie Roberts.